Hello everyone. I just want to talk today about kind of the situation of what's going on here in Mexico, how it is, specifically in Merida. That's the city I'm living in. But the situation seems to be the same all over. It's kind of like the United States, where Mexico is made up of multiple states, and they let the states control the regulations and decide what's going to go on or what's going to happen as far as the rules. So the situation isn't any different here than in the United States. Like I said, the states have pretty much all control over what's going to happen, and like I said, Merida is in the state of the Yucatan, so they pretty much relax a little bit. But here everybody is wearing masks out in public. Anywhere you walk you have to wear one, like I have one on now. I'm not near anyone, so I don't think it's a problem, but yes, outside everybody's wearing one. Temperature checks, hand sanitizer, etc. are all being done inside stores to get in and things like that. So it's very similar to the United States. And from what I understand, the cases aren't getting blown out of proportion here. Of course, I don't listen to the news very often because I don't understand it, too much of it. I don't watch the news anyway because it's all doom and gloom. But from what I understand, the cases aren't getting blown up here, and it seems to be under control here. Everybody's going about their business. I don't see any businesses that are shut down. Everything seems to be operating at full capacity. From what I was told in like the tourist areas, like Cancun and things like that, which is in a different state, but some of those hotels are only running at 30% occupancy. And then restaurants like in the hotel zone are the same. And so people here are really responsible and seem to have this under control. But yeah, there's no major restrictions. There's no lockdowns here. There's no talk about any lockdowns from the neighbors I speak with. And as you can see, I'm walking by a bunch of small businesses right now. They all seem to be open. Mainly all cafes and restaurants and things like that. Keeping a close eye on other countries as far as restrictions, because I have to be out of here at the end of March. That's when my visa's up. So I'm kind of keeping a close eye on what other countries are going through. That's why I decided to make a video about what the situation was here, because other countries seem to not be handling it very well, kind of just like in the United States. As far as like case numbers going up and things like that. So I have a handful of options as far as visiting other countries after March. And so I'm looking into those, but a lot of them are on kind of like a limited type of things you can do. All bars and restaurants are closed in most of these countries, or you need a PCR test to get in, which costs a lot of money. Some require quarantine for 2 weeks, which isn't a big deal because I'm slow traveling anyway. But all these things you have to kind of consider before going, because these are all things you have to get done before you leave. Like the test, you have to have it done. Some are 48 hours before you arrive into the country, some are 72 hours before you arrive into the country. Either way, there's things that need to be done at this day and age of travel, which makes it a little bit more difficult to plan. Also, with cases going up, you don't want to book a flight because you never know if it'll get canceled, or even postponed. And same with accommodations like Airbnb. That's what I stay in now. You just never know if things are going to get canceled on you, as far as even the property owners might cancel on you once they find out you're coming from a different country. So far I've had pretty good luck with the Airbnbs. I'll show you the Airbnb I'm staying at as soon as we get back. It's a very nice place. It's very affordable. Everybody loves the camera around here. Very friendly people. But anyway, the hosts have been really good. We extended our visit in Merida just because we wanted to stay here much longer, because we don't want to be doing a lot of traveling. By we, I mean I have a travel friend of mine who we share expenses with. So it makes it much easier and affordable. It's not really crazy prices anyway, but it's one of those things, if you want to travel long term, you want to save as much money and budget yourself as much as you can. And I think if you could do that with a friend, or even just someone you met that wants to share some of the costs that go into traveling, it's a very smart idea. So we share, split the water bills, we have our own groceries and things like that. So it's basically just that we're both traveling separately and share accommodations together. So it's one thing, if you're thinking about traveling, is find someone to travel with. It makes it so much nicer. But anyway, going back to my point is, you have to be so prepared at this day and age of travel. I'm finding that out now. So basically, you don't want to make too many plans that far in advance. And by that far in advance, I mean a couple of weeks. I had a good idea of where I was going to visit next, but that country is kind of blowing up with cases right now. So I'm kind of hesitant to even book an accommodation at this point, or even book an airline, because things can get canceled so quickly. And it looks like the country I was thinking about going to is going to halt airlines or flights coming into the country. Otherwise, if they don't, mandatory quarantine, which I said doesn't really matter to me that much, because, well, I'm traveling long term anyway, so 2 weeks will be nothing. But you still don't want to be locked up in your house for 2 weeks. If you have to do it, of course you will do it. Like when I came to Mexico, I voluntarily kind of quarantined myself. Not so harsh as what the government would do if you had to be quarantined. But I went and got a lot of my groceries right off the bat. Bought enough for about 2 to 3 weeks, and just kind of hunkered down in my Airbnb for that long and didn't really go anywhere. Not like I go that many places anyway, because with work right now, working online, I only give myself 1 day off. So I don't really do too much anyway, so I kind of quarantine myself anyway. But you don't want to be that person coming to a new country and just kind of walking around and spreading the disease as they think you're doing, without quarantining. And meaning like your neighbors and things like that. I don't mean just people on the street that just walk by, because I don't think that many people really care too much about it. Most people here are just living their lives like it's nothing. Just kind of wearing a mask when they go around people on the streets. So they're just taking precaution, I guess you can say. So it hasn't been that big of a deal. But you want to be responsible. You don't want to be that person walking around, especially a foreigner, who is, how do I want to say, who is just looks irresponsible. Irresponsible just like anywhere else you would go. What else is there? Businesses are all open. Cinemas are closed here. There's nobody going to the movies, so that's probably similar to the United States. That's really about it. If you still want to travel, traveling is quite available here in Mexico, especially Merida. Nothing's really shut down, like I mentioned. And so, something just to keep in mind. If you want to travel, do it. Just do all the things you do back in the United States or wherever you're from. I just say the United States because that's where I'm from. But just do everything that's expected of you. Social distance, wash your hands. When you're around people, wear masks. Just be responsible and courteous to other people. You may not find that this is a big deal. You might be healthy. You don't think you're gonna get sick from it, and most of us aren't. But there are people who are very scared about this and very paranoid about it. So, I mean, to have a little bit of compassion for those people goes a long way, especially with other people viewing you as an outsider. So just put that into consideration. You'll be fine. I haven't had any people being negative towards me being here. Everything's been great, and kind of using my days off or checking out new parts of my neighborhood that I'm in. And yeah, it's been going great. So again, if you're thinking about traveling, especially outside of tourist areas like myself, you definitely should, because there's so much to do and so much to see, especially with tourism down right now. So if you want to see major tourist attractions that are still open, now is the time to do it. If you don't mind wearing a mask, wearing hand sanitizer, getting, your temperature checked every 10 minutes, stepping on those funny little things with sanitizer on them. If you don't mind doing all that, then this is the time to travel, honestly. Get out and travel, because there is not anybody around. Even in the popular areas where you would see plenty of tourism, now tourists kind of look at each other like, hey, I recognize you because there's not any other tourists around. So, wrong turn. Where am I now? Don't get lost is the main thing, I guess. I haven't been down this stretch of my neighborhood yet. I'm only about a half a mile from where I stay, but I haven't been down this road yet, so not really sure where I'm going. But it's kind of hard to get lost when you're on it. The system is like a grid system for me, so I don't know where I'm going. I just haven't been here before. Anyway, so that's the situation in Mexico. It's beautiful. It's a good time to travel if you're safe, if you're responsible. And yeah, definitely get out and do it. If you have any questions, you can definitely leave a comment under the video and I'll check it out. And I'll try to answer it as best as I can. Of course, there's so many other people that are more prepared to answer questions than I am. But I'll go this way. But there's so many things to see and do here. That's really what I wanted to travel for in the first place, was see different cultures and to kind of view the world and document the world during the situation in the world right now. It's different, no doubt. I never traveled outside of a pandemic, so it's definitely different. But it's not as bad as I thought. I thought people were going to be judging tourists here a lot more than what they are. People are very friendly, and I think I mentioned that in other videos. But this video, I kind of want to talk about just the regulations and the rules, which there really are none. It's nothing more out of control here than anywhere else in the world. So I don't understand that if you think that you travel, you're going to spread this disease somewhere else, because you're not. As long as you social distance, like the experts say, social distance, keep hand sanitizer, and do all the things, and I don't see what the big deal is about traveling in the world. So I just kind of want to let you know that it is no different in the world, and people are kind of treating it like that too. Be respectful. That's about all I got. So I'll take you back to my place. I'm on my way now to the Airbnb, and I'll show you it, and you'll realize how much the prices have been dropping since this pandemic started. I'll kind of give you an idea, if I can find the numbers, of what it should cost to live at some of these places, or rent them out rather, to what it is right now. You'll see that it's a huge difference. I think what I'm paying right now is roughly like, I don't know, $22 a night. So split between two people, $11 a night. Very affordable, and usually that's everything included. So I don't pay for internet, heat, air conditioning. I don't pay for any of that. That's all included in the Airbnb. So it's very affordable. I live cheaper here than I've ever lived anywhere in the United States. Of course, I'm not making as much money as I made in the United States with my job now, but compared to the cost of living and how much I make, it's very similar. The percentage is almost exactly the same. So I'm able to save money and spend it on things that I want. As far as like expensive travel, the cost of flights is starting to go up. So there's that. But you just save up. That's why short-term travel is much less expensive. Excuse me. It's less expensive if you long-term travel. If you're constantly on the move, it's going to be very expensive. You have to pay for flights, you have to pay for visas, you have to pay for accommodations. If you stay long-term at places, it's much more affordable. This seems obvious to me now, and it might seem obvious to you, but I don't think that's obvious for a lot of people. I think a lot of people think that no matter what, traveling is expensive, and it's just not the case, especially in countries like Mexico. People actually love it here, that you come and you're spending your money in their country, because they're on hard times right now, just like in the United States. Just like in the United States, they're on hard times, so people actually love it here. They're more than friendly to they're more than willing rather to take your money and they don't treat you bad, because they want tourism here right now. Tourism has hit Mexico, like any other developing country, very hard. So go. I urge you, honestly, go. If you have the time right now, or even if your company is allowing you to work from home and you work online, go travel. It's much less inexpensive, or it's inexpensive. So go do it. If you have ever had the urge to go travel, go do it. Find a friend, split the costs, and save some money, and go help out other economies. You could have the argument of, yeah, well, the United States economy is doing bad, and I kind of thought that way myself. And that's one good way to think of it. You want to help out your local economy too. And I kind of felt bad for kind of leaving my country and small businesses where I normally spend money to go to a different country to spend my money, until I actually got here. And then you you quickly realize that there aren't any, the government here isn't helping anybody else out with stimulus checks, unemployment. People are living day by day here, or even if you're unemployed in the United States, you have backup money. You have your unemployment, you have a little bit of a stimulus check. Nobody gets that. If they don't sell their fruit on the side of the road to somebody, they don't get paid. So they might not eat that day, and I'm not being dramatic. That's the way it is. So if you really want to help out a world economy and people, and you care about humanity that way, travel to a developing country, visit people, get to know people, get to know different cultures, and spread your money around the world. You can definitely spend it back home for sure, but spending it here is a great idea too. People need the money. Everybody needs money, of course, but if you were to see some of the things that I've seen on my drive from Cancun to Merida, it was some sights that I'll never forget. Not only people but animals. You just see how people are living, or animals are living, and you really feel for them. It's no joke. That's one thing I'll always take away from traveling now. What's going on in the world right now is bad, but this has been going on for a long time, especially in developing countries. But this pandemic is only making things worse. So if there's anything you can do, and support people that are traveling, don't look down upon them. Support, help each other. That's what we should all be doing right now anyway. This should be a big eye-opener for everybody in the world, as far as this is a new time, a new era. So one thing this situation in the world has given us, it's a time to stop and kind of reflect on your own life. Because for me, seeing what people are going through right now in Mexico is unbelievable. Yeah, there's people that are just like back in the States. They're doing fine. But a lot of them aren't. It's crazy. And so I'm back to the Airbnb here. I'll give you a tour. And this is it. Work the lock. And we're in. Deadbolt this baby up. This security is an issue, or is no issue rather. So this is it. Said we're paying roughly around, I forget exactly, but $22 to $25 a night. So in low light. So this is the living room, which we never use. In fact, we've taken a lot of things out of this living room so we can make offices upstairs in our room. The kitchen table. We have a kitchen table, it's gone, but my roommate uses that for his desk. Got a nice bar here to prepare meals. All the water has to be bought and you can't drink the water, so we go through about one of those every 2 days. I'll take you around here the other way. This is the kitchen. They supply us with dishes, sink, stove, gas is the stove, microwave, my tea collection, and avocados. And one thing that surprised me is the avocados are not that much better here than they are in the US. Which isn't that big of a deal because the avocados in the US are pretty good. I was just, I had high expectations. Anyway, so up the stairs we'll go in a second to the rooms. This is the other bathroom. Nice, doesn't get used very often. This is the backyard. It's spacious. Clothesline where we hold the clothes to dry off after we're done doing the laundry. No washing machine, we're living on a budget, so this is how we do the laundry. My laundry is soaking right now. I'll wring it out, wash it off, and then hang it on the line. You save a lot of money that way. It seems kind of primitive in a way. Oh, maybe not that bad, but you save a lot of money for doing so. So yeah, there's the backyard. Nice. Today's cloudy. It's actually perfect in Mexico now. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. So up the stairs where the bedrooms are. I won't show you my roommate's room, but this is my room. You can see I made a makeshift desk. This is where I do all my tutoring from. I got my books, everything I need. This is where I work. This is where I sleep. Yeah, plenty of storage. So it's everything that I need. Air conditioning in the room, which is on just because it's very humid here and things get damp in the room, not necessarily because it's hot. So there's that. This is my roommate's room, and this is the other bathroom. It's pretty standard. It's got your everything you need out of a bathroom. So this is it. The view from upstairs down. Yeah, it's very nice. This is everything you need for an Airbnb. It's actually nicer than my apartment in the United States. So I'm gonna end the video here. This is kind of a long rant. I didn't expect it to be that long. But in closing, I'm just gonna reiterate, what I've already been saying. Now is not a bad time to travel, regardless of what other people tell you. It's a beautiful time to travel. It's a great time just to go out and spend your money on an economy that needs it, no matter where you go, whether it's Mexico or any other South American country, any country that will let you in, that opens up the border. It's fine, go travel. These people need your money just as much as small businesses back home need your money. When you come home, you can spend your money there, spend your stimulus checks there. You can do all those things. But I just urge you, if you ever wanted to travel, now is the time to do it, because like I was saying, the tourist attractions that are open aren't very busy, and they would love your money. And the people here buy local, like anything you do back home, buy local, buy from markets, small markets, street vendors, things like that. All these people need your money, and it's not just the country that you live in, it's the people around the world need your money. So this crisis just doesn't affect where you live, it affects everybody in the world, and I think everybody should kind of see what's going on firsthand, instead of just seeing it from me or seeing it from other people, your friends that might be out traveling. I think everybody, it would benefit you to see firsthand of what's going on in this world right now. It'll make you a better person, it'll make you a stronger person, and it'll make you a more compassionate person. So go travel, go have fun, go spend some money, and live your life, love your life, and stop being miserable at home. This will change that, I promise. Peace.